Okay, so hello guys. I present today this paper on the education impact of ChatGPT. Is artificial intelligence ready to obtain a university degree? So I think it's a good presentation. No, good title because it's a well, it's very interesting because how the the AI was growing up. So if you can use just the AI, it's not nothing all the interactive human interactive, you can make the AI to obtain the university degree. So I think it's very fun this title. But okay, so I will continue here. So to introduce the ChatGPT, it's very uh, it's very comprehensible that it's a hype for now. And this is a trending of ChatGPT, OpenAI, chatbot, and AI uh, keywords that we can see the last years how the ChatGPT is growing up. So since the the launch of ChatGPT, we can see in October the almost guys who are searching about of the OpenAI starting searching more. So it's more popular now, and how and all the peoples can access and can use it too. So it's very interesting. It's this part, and the paper uses this trend to introduce the GPT because in education we are using a lot of technology to improve our sheeting the tasks or the activities. So the guys of the paper from the paper thinking about this uh, um, brought us a methodology methodology that they can test and see how the ChatGPT can substitute the human in the universities, like it more to understand if the users the students you will use it to cheating the exams or other things. And the guys using three categories of the types of exams. I will not explain the GPT because it's because the hype all guys understand and how to use and other things. So I will spend more the methodology and your evaluation. So for the methodologies, the guys using three types of exams. They write exams in two parts. That the exams that you need to choice the answer, the correct answer, or if you need to justify, explain, or in other things about this. And we need another category is the essay. So if you take a topic and you need to understand this topic, and then you needed to write some text to just to show for the teacher how your learning process and how what you learning to. So and the third it's about the problem. A point that I didn't say that it's that the paper it's about it's there is a focus on the computer science graduation. So courses like that it's the focus on the this paper. But I think we can assume the same things, the same structure of methodology for all the other graduations, but we have some lower difference because depend of graduation, like math, you can use a lot very well the ChatGPT. I tried, for example, because I'm cursing the engineer physics and engineering in the UFSCar University here in Brazil, and I try to see how the ChatGPT can explain, for example, integral or other things, and it's very poor the results. So, but in this case, the paper they using 4 methodologies to understand the programming assignments. There is a completing code structure, like you have some questions, and for example, you need to make some Fibonacci in Python or any other things. It's very simple, and it's a simple structure, and you can use the ChatGPT, and they give you to um, a solution, a fast solution. Small individual project, like for example, you need make a little project like a calculator that you use more skills of programming or other things, and larger thing project that you need in a keeping made a project using more than one technologies or languages anyway. And the last is the interactive project. That is, for example, you don't have an idea what you have received, and you need it to get to familiar this environment, and made and answer a solution or make some results with base these environments. So these 3 categories, the paper, the guys of the paper from the paper use it to understand how the AI can use it, and how it's the score from this user. They using 3. So okay, I think we go continue. Okay, so continues the presentation with basic the three previous categories. We use segment, we use separate, we use it for use mode, use users exams for the applying these categories. That is the test, that is the choice, multiple choice, and other things. Full text, that do you write some texts about the category, and essays, and programming. For each one, you have 3 types of AI user mode. So copy and paste, you copy and description, paste in the GPT, copy the GPT and paste, and can answer your questions, or interpretation by the description. Oh, I needed some things in your description in the ChatGPT, or using like a system. So this table, we have 3 types of information: the full colors, the full color, that is blank and black, blank, white and black, and the half of 2 colors. And when it's black and is right, that is represent it's not used for in this user mode for each exam. And if it's black, that is full use. You can use the copy and paste or interpretation for full text or easy or essay. And if you have color, you can use it, but you have some issues when you implement it. So for the first, then the guys made this methodology using the same exams categories that the teachers were brought to the students. The guys using the same exams, and made the same tests a lot of times, and they plotted some in this charts. We have it's little confused. I think it's very confused this implementation, because it's very difficult to understand what is A, B, C, the paper, but I will try to explain, but I have some difficulty to explain this. But anyway, well, the first point, we need to see the tests. The test, we can just use the copy and paste, because we see here in the copy and paste interpretation for the use of the AI mode. For this, we have a low results because it's not very compressible. You need make some human intervention in the prompt to get better results, but that is not a copy and paste mode in the ChatGPT, and it's not good. But if you made this, you can improve a little bit, like the AI interpretation results here. The green box plot is students' scores, so it's they compare the same exam with the AI. So when you talk about the full text exam, you can some better results, because the explanation of ChatAI, it's very good, and we have some correct grammar. We have a lot of correct structure from the text, so it's cool to use it. But it has a little points that I will spend more than this part of evaluation. But we can see here, to use in the category, you can see it's very good to implement it, and it's very similar human score. So you can use it the copy and paste, and the copy the description, paste and copy the explanation from the chatbot. But depend of the user, you needed some previous knowledge to apply. For example, I need some recent result. You can get this information on ChatGPT because the model was trained until September 2021. So you need some human intervention to input the basis of information, or a trusted source. So, well, when you talk with in sales, we have a little bit lower results, because depend the structure, because it's along the text, and the ChatGPT is more better to short things, but you can implement it by more human intervention to improve this output. But to copy and paste is very, very poor, because you can write 60 page of a paper, for example, using just a simple description. You need more description, more prompts to improve the results. But you can use it like a system. It's the better use. Like, for example, I have it difficult to explain my ideas, and how I can union this part or this part, and made a paragraph, or made a synthesis, or other things. It's very good to use for this. I use a lot for example, because it's very cool. I can clarify my ideas. But in the part of programming, I think we have some difference depend of the methodology. Like, for example, complete coding structure, you can get all the information using just a copy and paste. So you copy the description, and you get the best resolution results. But when you talk with interactive projects, it's very difficult, because we have unknown environment, and you need to see what you can do with this environment. And it's complicated because the the ChatGPT is not trained by this. You can use it if you made some guideline to use it for this and make this. So anyway, you can uh, use it like a oriented the ChatGPT to a good result. The the the, the paper used and the cipher of a code. I don't remember a lot, but it's a Caesar cipher, and the GPT can understand the cipher, and just using the models and other things, he can use it just for a system, but he can answer, this part of the text is cipher. You can use this code for the cipher. So it's very difficult to get a correct result, and you can use it just like a system. But for the other points, like a, a complete code structure, a small individual project, or a larger project, you can use it with copy and paste in the other case. But we have one when the project it's large, you have some difficult to make the ChatGPT understand all the parts of your project. And the case of the large team project, we have some different difficulties because we have the database, the PHP program, and other things, and you need to make the join in using this language. So it's complicated for ChatGPT understand this. Well, we can see here that it's very good to using for explanation, for copy and paste some codes. For the part of the program, it's very, very interesting to use the ChatGPT. But when you use it to test this, it's very complicated because we don't have more information. We need some human interactivity. And for example, we have I remember today some video from a Brazilian channel on YouTube. That's Manual do Mundo. The guys used the ENEM. It's an exam here in Brazil and use the ChatGPT to answer all the questions. And it's very complicated, depend of the area. So in the math area, it's very difficult because we have a poor logic in the ChatGPT. He can understand very well the logic. So you ask some questions from the name, he can understand, and you need some. It's not very well. You need some think here this time. Consider these points, not consider a global information. Just this local information. Anyway, you have some difficulty. But the results in the name, and it's very similar here. You have a guy that can pass in and join in a lot of universities with a median score of a median user, median student. So for using the ChatGPT to answer your exam, what is cheating? But it's you can use it to this, but it's a cheating, so it's not very good practice. Other points that the paper brought to us for us is about using these exams, you can pass off the in some courses or some subjects, and we can see here a blocks plot with some 3 subjects, the subject A, C, and D, and each one we have some threshold, the same threshold, that is 50%, and we can see if you're using just the the text exam, we have some difficult to use ChatGPT because the ChatGPT is not very well to use multiple choice. We need it's very well to explain the things. So we can see the difference when we use the full text exam, like the the big part of the score, the total score from this subject. So it's very interesting because just ChatGPT can be uh, the best student in the subject C, for example. It's very good. It's very good uh, scores. Um, there's some things that paper said about when the guys tried the GPT to answer the exams, because we can make more fast. For example, you can finish a test exam until 10 minutes. So it's very fast for complete some exams. But we have some this difficult because we can make the AI understand very well the multiple choice. Um, for conclusion, the methodology and evaluation from the paper, we can see some points like the answer is not very the same for the same type of the question. It's different the answer, and then can be results some different results, like it's a answer right or a wrong result. I remember that when I'm used to make some carries, I talk, oh, made some analysis with this table. He see the table, made the carry, but when I try again the same input, the carry is very different, and the results the result can be worse or can be better. The other point is invasion of information. I think Fabio made the same thing with CloudWalk informations from the ChatGPT, and the names of the CEO is very different from all the tests. So it's very untrustable when you can use the ChatGPT like a search. You can use it like a search. You just use it to make some assistants or make some points, exactly points. You can just do it for this. You can use it like a search. Oh, I have some doubt about the what the people discover in Brazil, for example. Depend of the source. It's not very correct. Well, but we have some negative points and positive points. The negative points, well, it's very easy to cheating the exams in the university. You can use the pandemic events like a example, because the most universities made the classrooms on meeting, on Zoom, or other remote virtual local to make a meeting or class anyway. And the exams are online, like a forms, like a Moodle, the most used, the most universe, and you can cheat in using this information. So you can pass without study the course, and the university degree is what obtains the AI, not you. So it's very a negative point for the part education. Using the GPT for programming and writing essays can lead to a lack of originality and creativity. So depend how much you use it to the ChatGPT. You have some some spaces in your I don't know how to say, but you lost a lot of this quality, because, well, you just using the ChatGPT, you don't try to use your mind to try to understand or try to make a challenge in other things. That's very very bad for a freshman. So a freshman in university, it's very bad for this. He can understand, he can work then with the knowledge that he 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 deveria aprender na universidade. So I don't forgot now. But the last point of negatives is the you have some gradative guide. So you're learning low thing, easy things, and then you grow up this until make some big projects and other things, and depend how to use this, you can interrupt this process that the teacher trying to teach you. So it's very bad for a freshman. If you all the time using the ChatGPT for this, it's a problem. But it's these problems. Yes, we can correct this if you apply the correct way, the correct way how to use ChatGPT, because you can use it for like a system. You can use it to speed your learning process. You can use it with base information, and they give to you a more accurate results. But this it's difficult to know, because it's very new. These things is for the public, the general peoples, and depends how to use this information. You can some difficulties, but I think it's some changes that can be appear in the next steps from the future. So it's some points that the teachers need to understand, need to see how to use and see how implemented in your classrooms, and how the university implement this. And this can be very very interesting, because we can improve more our skills, and you can you can learn more things in less time, and it's very cool, very cool. So we need some changes in the education. The paper said the detection, the prevention, and adoption, and that is I said we need detection to the guys who using a lot of ChatGPT to cheating the exams, to cheating the activities, and but it's very complicated, because the models were improving along improving. Like, for example, we have ChatGPT it's amazing. We can use in images, we can use in videos, we can use in a lot of media to understand your ideas. So, but we have some models like the OpenAI are launching a model to identify AI writing text, but it's very complicated, because we need a long text above the 1,000 characters, and we need some limitations to use this, and it's not very good for university. Like a simple exam, you have a paragraph for explaining what is something, and you can detect the cheating in this part. And prevention is it's try to make some tests, some exams, some activities that that the student not use the ChatGPT, or you understand the student will use the ChatGPT, and you try to improve your tests or exams, or anyway. And adoption, it's, I think, the the principal part, because it's a uh, it's a tool that we all the time we have access, and all the guys have access, and it's not disappear in in the in the future. So this tool can be improved more, and can get more results, and more better results. And then you can see, I don't know, I think just ChatGPT made your stuff is just like, I have a doubt, he changed, he did some things and get just your results. So uh, but I think these three particular points for changes is very important, because uh, I forgot why. But anyway, a curiosity, for example, my university last week made a presentation live about this, because it's the teachers, the university were are see these results, and that can be improved, and the negative points, like this part of the cheating exams and other things. So I think it's a new step for the universities and other things in the future, the next week and month. So that is it. It's more a beginning for this term, because yes, we are in the hype of the ChatGPT, and we talk a lot of, oh, we need this tool can improve our stuff, and we can do more things in less time. And well, but what's the problem, and what happened in the education, what happened in other social groups that we don't have more contact. So that is it, my presentation.
Thanks, Yeté. So, does anyone have any questions for Yeté or about the paper? Oh, okay. I do have one. I read the paper, and one thing that kind of the authors didn't explain to me was like the like they tested with 50 like the assignments that they tested with the students, but then for the AI, like apparently they only tested like with themselves because they didn't uh, like went there, because then they have the different ways that they use, right? The copy and paste, the lazy student simulation, and then the interpretation. So, and I think that would explain why the graphs about the ChatGPT, they have a very narrower, the box plots, right? I don't know. I think it would be interesting if they use that on students, but then it would be like, try to do this, but they're like only use for copy and paste. I guess that would be a bit harder to set the experiment, right? But yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Because even though ChatGPT will perform worse in most cases, but like in copy and pasting, like in some stuff, like it was better. The student was better off it's just copy and paste the stuff than he have read and tried to write on his own. So I thought that was funny. Mhm.
Yeah, but that was a thing too. Like, I saw that in the paper they were talking about, oh, especially in the longer questions, the AI was doing things that were more predictable and more general and more boring. So it's kind of like compresses, right, the grading. So it's less personal variation,
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, I think maybe the guys could also go with I think the guys could also try to delve a bit on prompting, right? Because they didn't talk about stuff like because like on the test one, like one of the things that on the paper say that if you make one question wrong, you lose the question, so you lose points for that, right? So maybe it's not clear if they let the ChatGPT know that, oh, if you guess, you better only answer the ones that you're sure. Like it's not clear that they did that, but I think it was interesting. Like it was released on November, and it could be used. And I think even you could also think about, this paper is focused on ChatGPT, but then you have GPT-4 that perform, on the top for, the bar, the bar exam for lawyers and stuff like that. The models are getting even better. And ChatGPT, GPT-4 also have the ability to see images, right? So maybe that could be something, not more stuff that is able to do in comparison to this paper, right? Yet, like, because then you can see stuff. But I think it's interesting, like, because they say, oh, cheating, kind of bad, but then it could be used, as an assistant, right? I think, and especially I think for TAs, like, right? So like you can have like, I live far my university, and then I have no issues with calculus, but then it can be easier, to me, instead of me going to the university, I don't know, I live far from university, I don't know, then I can have a personal assistant, could be something that universities could have, right? Try to have, of course. I don't know. I think my view is that no, it's not all bad. You can think of good stuff regarding education for GPT-like models.
Yeah, I agree with this. I try to use now, like when I'm, because my graduation, I'm trying to use like a system. I had There's a book that you read a lot of time and you don't understand nothing, and you copy and paste the ChatGPT. You can the better way to understand the particular subject. So it's very interesting for this. I think like a system, like a interactive to use, like oh, I have some time I needed to discuss with anyone, and I don't have any. I don't have a friend. I don't have a person close to me to talk, and you can talk with GPT. You can use it for these points to improve your skills. But yeah, we have these issues when you talk in remote education, because the teacher, the university, the institution, all this part administration can see if you're cheating or if you're a good guy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? It's like we have like for hiring, right? You can have some tests for hiring, and then we have later like a technical interview, right, to ask the question, right? So it's kind of like the the way to assess the knowledge of the person, it's something that maybe should be the focus. And not only that, but maybe like how you get to assess like the concepts, right? And not just the focus on the results, right? But yeah, I think it's something, I don't know, not always bad, but for boring tasks, it's kind of useful. At least from my experience, GPT is way better, for things like programming, doing the code, than, to come with reasoning, at least for now. But yeah, uh, anyone else wants to add to the discussion?
It's more about a comments about like the future and like TAs and things. Where I was talking to some people a while ago, and they talked about using like GPT and large language models for like mastery learning, which is when you kind of like have to get 90% on a subject or understand all the core concepts of one subject before you move on to the next. And it's really hard to do when you're talking about a class of 40 people, right? So if you have a dedicated TA for each student, you can kind of have one teacher overseeing the entire process and the students learning at their own pace. So some can go faster, some can go slower, but every one of them is mastering what you're learning, right? Instead of you just scraping by on an exam and going on to the next subject and getting that debt, like knowledge debt,
Yeah,
accumulated
and I
over
think
time.
also could be, the thing that I think they have on. Let me try to open here a uh, new tab. No, not a new tab. Oh my God, sorry. A new window. But on GPT-4, they have an example on that, right? So they have like they have equation, and then the prompt is like use the Socratic method to solve the equation. And then the guy said, "Oh, I want the answer." But the guy said, "No, you have to try to come up with the reasoning behind that." And then, like, that's something that could be could be done, right? Like instead of, I think, focusing on the giving the answer, like you try to come up with the reason behind it. Okay, I think I got you. Let me. Can I share my screen? Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay. So a window. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen? Like, this is the research from GPT-4, the release. They say, oh, introducing GPT-4, blah, 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 blah. And then they have here, like, the example here, I think they're fine, like the Socratic tutor. So, like, you are a tutor, explain a Socratic style. You never give the student the answer, and blah, 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 blah. And then, how do I solve the linear equations? Then the guy say, oh, I want just the answer. And then he tries to do some prompt attack, I suppose. Stop doing that and do that. But then Socratic tutor, da 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 da. And then he goes to answer the question. So like the system, so you do the substitution, you subtract equation 2 from 1, and then you have, you solve the answer. So I think that could be something, right? Of course, then you have to do like to make sure the bot is good and also robust, right? Because then you can use like what they call jailbreak and stuff like that to say do some prompt attack and the guy just gives the answer. But I think the way that as a language model, I think we have to understand that this is a language model, so it outputs tokens and stuff, but is able to have this kind of understanding, So I think this could be interesting, like you can have a tutor that can help, students, and maybe can make education more cheaper. Of course, then you have the reason how you assess if the guy is knowledgeable or not on a given topic, but I think that can help, Like I said, it's not all bad.